How is everyone today? Good? So last we met, we were going to do stuff. I have one thing I want to share. I spoke with Elizabeth Bishop, and she was part of the original magazine, and that she's going to head up the ad club, and they're starting up a new magazine. So some of you might be interested in doing that as well. Same magazine, just a new edition. You know what I mean? Um, that said, I posted a link on Canvas. I'm going to share the screen with you so you can see exactly where I posted it. But I did post a link on Canvas. Where's my Canvas? Find or downloads. Google Chrome must be this. Here we go. Boop, 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 boop. Where's Canvas at? Here we go. And what this is, it's a link to this spreadsheet, which has everybody who worked on its contact information from last year. So for instance, Elizabeth remembered that the person who wrote the thing on Bright Blue, Kyle Scharf, he's still here. He's a student, probably a senior this year in marketing. So we might want to reach out to him to see if he wants to finish up his article, right? And update it with what happened to Bright Blue and the next steps. And he can interview Rademacher and Norris or myself or whatever. So that's a thought. So I'm thinking that one of the three people in charge who are going to be tasking people should probably go through this and make sure that we check in with we try to at least check in with people. The nice thing is we have phone numbers to see if anybody has anything else they want to contribute, right? You know what I mean? Like they might have pictures. They might have made stuff that never got turned in. So I'm still throwing that out there. Okay. That was that. Cool water. All right, so I did that part. Where are we at? Where's my Lucy? There's my Lucy. I think that's an L there. Yep.
Yes, hello.
Cool.
So we talked last night about the branding guidelines for you guys to all go by. I did put the JPEG into the Google Drive, but we went ahead and added a green color as one of the secondary colors, and then also the lemon milk font. So if you pulled it up, you can see all that we decided to go with.
Anybody else have anything else to report back?
I came up with like a sketch because I signed up for like graphics for the intro story. If you wanted to see that.
I would love to see it. Thank you. Cool. So that's from the back of Fairbanks?
Yeah. So at first I was thinking I wanted to do like half of it be a picture and half of it be a graphic, but then I don't know. I couldn't like wrap my head around that idea. So then I thought just making it all a graphic, but like including the story like in the graphic. So like the story being like where the grass would be. If that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Okay. And then just like the title of it being at the top saying like our story since it's like the intro.
That would be apropos, right? Kind of situating the reader to where this all starts from.
Yeah.
Love it. Your thoughts, everybody. So is that going to be a photo or is that going to be like an illustration?
I don't know. I was thinking of like trying it both ways. Um, but probably an illustration is what I'm leaning towards.
Right, and there's always that space in between, right? Like image tracing a photograph or posterizing something. So
Yeah. Yeah. I was just gonna play with it and see like what it ends up being.
cool, outstanding.
Okay. Thank you.
No, thank you. Anyone else have anything else they want to share with the group?
I can show you what I was, well, so I didn't really sketch anything, but I looked on Pinterest a lot for like ideas and like inspiration, because I signed up to do this study abroad kind of layout, and I know since he hopefully is going to give us a bunch of pictures that he took from for his portfolio, that I thought it would be kind of cool to do more like picture heavy, but obviously still include like his story and everything like that. Let me see if I can share my screen. Hold on. Hold on. I found a few share screen. Okay. These were just like ones I found. Like I thought this was kind of cool with adding like a consistent color, like and making it like the opacity down and like adding little elements of it. I thought this was cool, like a place for the story, but still having like pictures next to it, just because I think it would be cool to showcase as many as we can, because he's obviously very proud of them. I also thought this was kind of cool with putting them in different shapes than just boxes, and having the story go around the picture maybe in some way. Or I was even thinking like if we really wanted to like show a bunch of pictures, we could even do like a collage thing. And I thought this was kind of cool because it had like words and like design elements, like the kids like cut out here and put here. Like, I don't know. These are just all ideas because I looked up like picture heavy layout designs and stuff like
No,
that.
that's awesome that you did that. I think
But
that's great inspiration and a great jumping off point, right? Absolutely. Thank you. I applaud you for doing that because it's one thing to sit down with a blank slate and go, I'm going to make something. And then you're married to whatever you make. But when you see stuff, you can be like, oh, I like this idea. And then you can make it your own. So absolutely. Nice.
yeah, so thank you. That's just what I was thinking.
Glad to see your head wrapped around that.
I have a question.
Yeah, Haley.
So I wasn't here last class, obviously, but are we wanting the magazine to be like photo heavy or more like graphic design?
It's whatever you want to make it. You're the students making it, and I want it to be your product. You know, in the end, I think that because we are in a time crunch, we're going to go with convenience, whatever we have. Reality, you know what I mean? Yeah, so, you know, I think that it's about making the most of the assets we have access to, which is why I threw out that spreadsheet with all those numbers, right? Because if nothing else, some of you might know some of those students that might still be here. And if nothing else, you can make a phone call to somebody and be like, oh, we really need something for this. You know, what were you thinking of that, of using with this? You know what I mean? But it can be whatever you guys want it to be. I want it to be your magazine.
Yeah, because I went on to like just put my name somewhere to contribute, but the only thing that's open now is like photos. So I wasn't sure how many actual like photos we're gonna want in the magazine, which like I'm fine with doing them, but I wasn't sure if we wanted more photos or more graphics or a mix of both, or what you guys had really talked about, I guess.
Right, and you're probably going to want a specific assignment, right? Like photos is pretty broad. So maybe like photos of this article or that subject or this location, maybe. So yeah, I'm feeling you.
Hey, can you guys hear me? Okay. Sorry, I'm driving. So I think since it's for prospective students, it's important to have photos of campus and of like students here, but also to show student work with the graphics. So I think it should be a mix. I don't think we should focus on one or the other.
Agreed. Great observation, Jack. I like that. Thanks for contributing.
Also, I have another question. So I think since I'm doing the graphics for the Bright Blue article, is there, and I did like a little bit of research on it, is there like a Bright Blue office that like I could find like images of, and if I wanted to make like those into graphics, for example, is that a thing?
Outstanding question. I'm not sure what happened to any assets of what they had. Excuse me. However, I know that our new vice president of the ad club worked there at Bright Blue. So I will make an inquiry to Elizabeth Bishop to contact those people that she knows that were there last semester. She was on the magazine. She was one of the leaders of the magazine last semester. So I'm going to ask her to reach out to those people to find out what we have. If we have any photos of it happening. Marketing might have a photo or two, so you might want to reach out to Mark, Culture Mark, or Kraus. Either one of those two might have something to share with you.
Okay, and did you say that you want me to,
Pardon?
what was that?
I said, and the kid who wrote that is still on campus, so.
Okay, and did you say that you wanted me to reach out to somebody for like the inquiries or whatnot, or like you said, you mentioned Elizabeth, is that?
If you want to reach out to the previous board, that's fine. Is there even anything on the Butler website about Bright Blue anymore? Has that been killed?
I think there is, yes, but it's just like a video and just a brief description of it, but like there aren't any like images,
Right.
from what I see. So the best person to contact, you said, was Elizabeth.
Elizabeth Bishop, I will forward you the email she sent me. I'll go ahead and send that to you of the board for the ad club so that you have that information. And so she could better tell you who was involved and who might have stuff.
Okay,
I honestly
awesome.
don't have that kind of information.
Okay, and then also another question. So what are the dimensions of like the layout that we should have if we wanted to start getting that going?
All right, so I think that's up to Lucy, Henry, and because it's digital, right? We're not paying paper costs, so we don't have to worry about the most economical size to get the most out of a sheet, right? So you guys can make it long and wide. You guys can make it a regular magazine. Whatever you think, I think you should think about how it's going to be consumed. It's going to be consumed on a screen, and what might be the best way to consume it that way.
I know Lucy had like pages already up in InDesign, so maybe we could just do whatever the dimensions of what that was.
It wouldn't hurt to use standard paper dimension, which I'm guessing she probably used letter size, only because if somebody does want to run off some copies, or if the day comes when we actually have money again, and we're going to go back to a printer and actually print these. Because I know that the dean is planning to use these
I'm
for
pretty
years.
sure it was 8.5 by 11.
Cool.
I'm pretty sure it was 8.5 by 11.
Perfect. And that way, if the day we do want to go to press with these or run even a short run off of the university press, that would be really cool. I'm going to talk to the dean. I'm going to find out how much it would cost to have these printed at the university press, just one copy for each of you. Because that'd be really cool to have to take to an interview. Pull out magic tricks, you know what I mean? It's always the best. It's like, oh yeah, let me show you the real print version. It's only a mock-up because we didn't have money to send it to a printer, but it's approved. Yeah. I'll ask the dean next time we have a conversation. I'll ask Rademacher as well. Anybody else? All right, well, I'm wondering if I need to, so for next time, let's talk about for next time. For next time, the first thing I'm going to do on Monday, and I can do it now if you want. Monday, give me a chance to practice. be honest with you. I'm going to show you how to do the style sheets in InDesign, right? How to grab styles. It'll work very similarly in Illustrator. I believe they have the same or similar kind of function, even though it's much more robust in InDesign. But I'll show you how to do that at the beginning of class. It'll be like a 15-minute, maybe demo at the most. I'll also have some instructions typed out so that you can follow that along with that so that you don't have to watch the video over and over again, kind of thing. It's pretty easy peasy, non-magic trick kind of thing. Once you see it, you're like, oh, that's what that little eyedropper / cursor tool is for. So how about from you guys? Who feels like they need some direction to go somewhere and make something? Let's talk about that. Because I don't want you guys to feel like we're wasting all of this class time and you're not getting anything out of it.
I was thinking about possibly adding a page into it that's just like graphic heavy about kind of the different programs and things that we learn like throughout the different classes. And it could even be like an interactive page where you click on it and then you like go, so you figure out more information like about each program or something like that.
That's really cool. So you're talking about each program in the college or each computer program?
Like computer program and like the different like software and stuff that like kids are learning throughout the different majors and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. As long as we keep it across all majors and not just StratCom specific, absolutely. So there's a bunch you're going to learn from what they do down in RIS or whatever it's called these days. Might be called something different. I don't know. I've been here a lot of years and it's kind of few names. But maybe RIS is still RIS. Anyhow, yeah, that would be a good idea. I love it. I love it to show. And that's a great thing to show people as far as they see the names they recognize, good selling tool. In the end, this is a marketing tool, folks. You know, we're calling it a magazine, but magazines are really marketing tools at the end of the day. So that's a wonderful idea, Haley. Love, love, love it. 3 loves. Anybody else feel like they need some direction?
Mine's just a question, but you said you wanted like those of us writing stories to send them to you on Monday. Do you want us to email that to you, or will there be a place on Canvas?
I will put a place on Canvas for us to put files and all sorts of stuff. Okay, kind of. I'll see what affordances they have. Either a place you can upload a file, or at least copy and paste it into. If that makes any sense? I'll do that.
How many words, like on average, would you say for like one of the stories?
All right, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a journalist, but I have had writer-producer on my business card because I can write a script. I can write a presentation. So I honestly don't know. But here's the way I look at it. Keep it. It's the same thing that I was told that I pardoned. I'm not asked for forgiveness before I even say this. It's the same thing I was told when I was learning how to write a paper or in school, and I asked the teacher, you know, it's short enough to make it interesting, but long enough to cover the subject. Right?
Yeah.
So whatever it takes. I mean, nobody likes reading fluff. Nobody likes reading stuff that's just put there to add word count. So I'd say whatever comes out to be, que sera, sera.
I have a question. Until we get the pictures from the author of that story, can I just use like?
As soon as we hang up, you can do it while we're here. I'm gonna call Doug. I'm like, dude, send us pictures.
Okay. Can I just use like filler pictures until then so I can start working on the layout?
I know designers do that all the time. So we can start laying out the magazine. We have text we can flow in, and we can start putting in dummy pictures, right? For position only. Essentially, you're putting in an idea as a placeholder so you can see how the document develops. So that's something we should be starting. Yes, Amanda, yes, you are on the money, on the nose. So please, let's start flowing things out and figuring it out. And like I said, if we have an overall layout of what the articles, once we put the articles in there, the words, and this is to the, the 3 creative leaders, whoever's doing the big overall picture, you'll know what page. Okay, your article starts on a left-hand page. Your article starts on a right-hand page. So when the other people are designing it, you're designing it knowing you have a spread to work with to start with if it starts on the left-hand page, or if it's starting on a right-hand page, you know you have a single page. You know what I mean? Okay. So what are we going to have for Monday? What are my set my expectations? So I'm hoping that everybody is working towards something, or maybe everyone can just say what they're working on. Maybe you won't have anything for Monday, but maybe you can just let us know what it is you hope to accomplish between today, Wednesday, and Monday of next week. In any order, because I don't care.
So I'm working on the kind of like major overview with like kind of a little bit of text. So I just did like a rough like kind of sketch thing here of it's a little kind of confusing, but I'm basically going to do like a couple, I think, different mock-ups or something for sure for Monday, just so that we can kind of have a couple of different ideas going, but I don't think, yeah, just to kind of give us some sort of options, I guess, and see what your guys' input is.
Outstanding, Ellen, outstanding.
I will continue to work on the overall layout just since I already started it on InDesign. As for the like layout for each story, we were gonna kind of leave it up to each person to whatever they wanted to design. Like if they want to do like a full page infographic, like we can like put the words in around that. Like it's up to you guys like what you want to create.
Cool.
But I will keep working on the overall layout for Monday too.
Outstanding. And I'm all for giving people freedom, so I like that idea. Creative license is a good thing to have.
For me, I'm gonna work on finishing up the intro story and then also the CCOM intern story. And then also work on the graphics for the intro.
Fantastic. Love to hear it.
I was gonna work on, so I'm on Dean Barnett's story for layout and then Dr. Campbell's sabbatical. So I was gonna like make kind of like Sam showed, like those like ads and maybe put like spots for pictures or like the layout and put spots for pictures in it. And then I had a question about those. Are those going to be sent to us from the sabbatical, or should I like reach out to Dr. Campbell?
Why don't you go ahead and reach out to her?
Okay.
I think at some point she sent like 2 pictures to somebody. I might have them in an email chain from like literally like from March or February. But they weren't very good, so I would ask her for a variety of options.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because like they gave her like 2 things, and you were like, that looks like a tourist photo. Which isn't a bad thing. Which isn't a bad thing, but it would be nice to have options if you're looking at stuff to be able to pick and choose.
Yeah. And I was probably gonna like reach out. I think Jack's working on graphics for that. And then Haley's on photos, but like reach out to those people maybe and like go over ideas or something.
Outstanding. Perfect. Synergy. I love it.
I'm sort of thinking of doing the same thing as Maria, and I'm signed up to do the CCOM majors, and I think Fallon is working on that too, so I'll probably reach out to her and I'll try to come up with some ideas for the layout and then see what she's been working on.
Cool. Anybody else want to share what they're going to bring to the table on Monday? What you're going to be working on for this next 5 days?
So my goal is to have like a sketch, since I'm doing the past and present of CCOM as well. My goal is to have like an outline, I guess, sketched of what I want it to look like, because I'm working on the graphics of it. And I guess I am a little not confused, but just like not sure what to do because I think that somebody else is doing photos for that. I'm not sure who it is exactly, but I know that since I'm doing graphics, somebody else does photos. Should we be like collabing with the people that are working on the same thing as us, like with photos and graphics, or
Yeah, I
I'm a
mean, you
little
can
confused.
find out. Yeah, I would recommend find out what kind of graphics would be appropriate for that particular article, right?
Mhm.
I mean, what does he want me to make, right? Because like I have people ask me to make a logo for something. You're like, well, what do you like? You know what I mean? It's like I spend all day making stuff I like. You know, I just did this with the dean, and of course, the things I didn't like that I gave her, that's what she picked as the best, which is Murphy's Law at work and design.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so that's my goal, is to have at least a sketch of that.
So I'm trying to figure out what kind of graphic you're gonna make, whether it's an infographic or just an illustration of something, you know what I mean? Anybody else? Anybody that show us any progress on graphics? I know we talked about the Venn diagram with marketing and Stratcom, and have we started working on that yet?
I can start doing that because I like have knowledge of both, so I could definitely start doing something with that. And then if anyone has any like ideas, because I know a lot of people switched or added as a minor, they could like reach out to me and let me know.
I think that'd be great. Yeah, you know, the hardest part about anything is just getting started. Once you get started, it'll flow. You'll start making it, you'll be getting into it, you know, but always taking that first step forward in the right direction. How about you, Henry?
I'll probably help out Lucy with some of that kind of like overarching things, and then maybe depending on how people get with theirs, they could like reach out to me, and then I can connect with Lucy again, try to fit those in, or like take what some of their ideas were for how they want things to appear on the page, or just kind of like their preferences for their section, and then work with Lucy to implement those on the current, or I guess current / finalized test, whatever you want to call the, or on the draft.
Outstanding. Anybody else?
I just noticed that there was like a photo shoot sign up like document in the folder, and I was just wondering like what if that was like this week or if we were actually even doing that. I just was curious.
Does anybody have the deets on that?
I think that was Corinne, and she's not here today.
You are correct, sir. That is Corinne. She is not here today. I'm trying to figure out how to get back to your screen. Ah, there we are. Perfect. That is for the, if you look back at the example PDFs that I showed you, it was the people who worked on the project. She was going to do a photo shoot of everybody and try to get that going. So you might want to reach out to her to get more details. Somebody who's coordinating this. Is anybody going to be like the central coordinator? Anybody want to volunteer to kind of be the person to like make sure that things are being checked off? I can do that. I just want this to be as student-centric as possible. I would rather not be the one.
I could take the lead in that.
Perfect. Perfect. And so just follow up with her and say, hey, we noticed this. What's that about? When do you want to do it? You know what I mean? Otherwise, things just have a habit of just kind of sitting and not growing as they should. So any questions for me? Oh yeah.
I got a question. Since we are doing like headshots of the people who worked on it, are we gonna want to contact like the people from that sheet who worked on it who aren't in the class and ask them if they like want a headshot included?
I would say yes, and I would not say, do you want a headshot included? I would say we'd love to have a headshot. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's how you ask. Because it's like, oh, I've got to go through my phone and find something as opposed to, hey, we really need one, we really want one. And then if somebody wants to opt out because they just don't want to do it, that's cool. That's fine. And it would be great to have maybe 2 pages, right? There's enough people there who created that stuff to kind of balance with this. The original team and then the design and layout squad. I mean, creation squad as well. Outstanding. How are you doing, Shannon?
I'm good. I'm just listening and thinking.
Okay, that's fine.
I might reach out to Corinne and see if she wants like help with the photo shoot for the headshots. So like if we wanted to do multiple people at the same time or something.
Yeah, or even just that, just somebody keeping it organized. When you
Yeah.
have people, it's really nice to have an assistant. Take it from somebody who did it for a living. It's nice to have somebody say, your turn. You know?
And I
You're gonna make
also signed up. I think I also signed up to help her with the layout for one of the articles too. So I
Cool.
might see if she wants help with anything else. Because I think she probably has a lot with a lot of the graphics.
Indeed. Outstanding. All right, so my challenge to you is for Monday, bring something cool to show and tell. Okay, some progress. Like here's an idea, even if it's just like, I started fleshing out this design and I'm not sure which direction to go with, right? And you can show us some options or something. Well, we've got to get the move on because we only have a couple of weeks left after next week. And I think it'll come together nicely. What I would love to see, Lucy, and the creative team, Tori and Henry, is I would love to see a layout of the magazine as a whole and figure out where those holes are, right? What are we gonna do in this spot? I don't know, kind of thing, you know what I mean? Because we need to have some graphic to balance all of that type. We need to have, for every article, there's gotta be something to balance it visually, to make it interesting to a recruit, or like, a young adult. Cool?
I do have one question.
Yes.
One question. So is the color of the pages that like tan color, or is it going to be white? Because I know she had them tan.
Yeah, so we were thinking kind of like most of the pages would be tan, but of course we're open to if you want to do like the full page like navy or something and have lighter accents or graphics or whatever, like we're totally open to that. Whatever you think looks good, whatever you want to do.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool. Everyone feel good about this so far? Jack, your hands on 10 and 2, I hope. Don't answer. Just keep them at 10 and 2. All right. If you guys don't have anything else for me, I'd say you have your work cut out for you. Okay, for Monday, I'll have my critiques for you guys, my responses to your work that you posted and all that good stuff. You'll have that for Monday. Critique-a-palooza weekend. All right, everybody. I'm not going to keep you just to keep you. There's no point to that. Doesn't do you any good, doesn't do me any good, doesn't do anybody anything productive. Although I do like looking at all your faces as they disappear one at a time. Boop, 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 boop. Boop. And I'm all alone.